Hey, so this is the next video. I was digging back through Decked Out Show to go and find something that wasn't very good. A couple days ago, I started on it, and the funny thing was, in this case, I watched the video of the gameplay, and you had one player that was actually pretty decent, Joe Cherries, against three other players that had a lot of confusion on threat assessment, but this player seemed to be the worst on player skill, Zmain. I think her other name is Zmain character or something. Um, yeah, but also the deck, it has a lot of problems. Here's the first problem, this idea that you need to run the companion in the color pie. No, this isn't as bad as Imori, but anthems are just not very exciting, and then it just limits your card pool of what you can play. Let's go and look and see what the next problems are. Now, here's my take on these planeswalkers. If you're running a planeswalker where you get one trigger off of it, let's say, and you're not satisfied, and you don't have a lot of protection for your planeswalkers, you just shouldn't be running them. And in this case, I mean, these are two planeswalkers where you're going to want to get a lot of triggers in before it's valuable. You'll see she's not running anything, which is expensive. Like you have Ocelot Pride, you've got, you'll see you have the Sky Cat Club, which are good cards. But then you have cards that are just random, like Wasali Pride Mage. Okay, so here's the problem. The deck wants to do a few things. What it wants to do is it wants to have its triggers in combat uninterrupted. It wants to go wide, and it wants to go large with anthems. So when you're playing things which don't support that and just go off into random small amounts of value, then you see that problem. And you'll see several various cards that are doing that. Wasali Pride Mage, Felidar Cub, Undergrowth Leopard, 3-drop, Bramaz. Okay. At one time, many years ago when this card came out, it was good. The problem nowadays is that it just doesn't present enough of a threat, and the 1/1's always going to die, so it just isn't very good. And then Miri with our companion, it's so important, this last paragraph, to actually be able to have that trigger and that static ability. It's very important. And when you're running your companion, it just shuts that off. Pride Sovereign, it just isn't very good. It's just a random big creature that maybe you can get 2 triggers off of. Maybe 3 if you're lucky in a game. And then when she's getting into higher stuff, it's fine. You have Giselle, that's great. I play that in my deck. This Sovereign, great. Coastal Slingers, it's alright. But the Natdal War Pride, just another random thing. And then her ramp package. That's just kind of boring. It just isn't really doing much. It doesn't really help with getting your trigger multiple times on your commander because you're ramping so slowly. So it just actually takes up space in the deck. You've got a lot more stuff that's like that, like Makindi Stampede. I don't know why you're running that MDFC. It just is so poor. And Turn Timber Symbiosis. Just a horrible 7-drop. It's just a big nothing burger. And Dusk Dawn. you've got anthems that raise the power of your creatures. And so it doesn't really do what you're intending it to do. And then we've got these other things like Kahani Ambush. It's just another basic nothing burger, especially with how low power the creatures are. And all these artifacts are pretty much nothing burgers. Like, there's a lot of fascination around Sword of Animus. Just, it's not very good. It's expensive and not very good. You get one extra land a turn, essentially, for a couple turns, maybe. Also in this deck, keep in mind you're not running any protection on your board at all. And so, yeah, it just ends up being kind of boring. And that's our deck. Okay, let's see if we can do better. Yeah, let's take a look. So my build, here's my cost. About $100 less on Card Kingdom. About 170 less. And then on the open market, we'll see that it's about 140 less. So you'll see I'm running a lot of 1-drops. Going much more low to the ground. I'm running protection cards. First one is Skrull right there. Then down here, we've got a lot more 2s. Second protection card is White Mainline, also rebuys our Into the Battlefield effects. And a lot more protection. Grisali Ambushers, kind of an interesting protection free spell. And then we can run more protection like Shalai. Also, the +1/+1 counters really helps with that too. And then Temur Sabertooth rebuys all these things that you saw above that were Into the Battlefield triggers. Then when we're going to my ramp, you can see it's cards to get everything. Imperator's Cancel to get everything back. And more cards that have massive effect and have more protection. See, I don't feel like you need to run board wipes and everything in every deck. You can have a deck that doesn't need a board wipe. See, with this deck, all you're trying to do is protect yourself while going wide at them. So obviously, this creature above the Miri helps with that. Set's Tiger helps with that. And also Jaheira's Respite helps with that. And Martyr's Cause also helps with that. So then I have things that stop my opponent from interacting with my attackers, like Reconnaissance and Dolmen's Gate. And Bow of Nylea makes it so they do not want to trade. And then my anthems go huge. We had the creature anthems above, similar to what she had. And then my other anthems, Beastmaster's Ascension, Felder Retreat, and Cathar's Crusade, make everything go massive. And then my things which give my stuff hexproof makes it so my individual triggers actually work and I don't get blown out. And then my land package is pretty similar to hers, except my other ramp is in my land. Mirrored Landscape and Crows and Verge is my ramp, which is in my land. And I'm not pulling any punches on price. Like I have a fetch, I had the Shock, I had the Scythe Cat Cub, I had the Ocelot Pride. So I'm playing anything that I actually want to play in the deck. Yeah, so I feel like this is a lot more tuned, a lot cheaper, and a lot better. But let me know who you want me to troll next on the gameplay. Look out there for me, you know? If you see me in the shop or comment on one of my videos of some video that you see out there that you want me to troll and do my own deck tech on. Anyways, I had a lot of fun with this, and I'll see you in the next one.